When it comes to fall protection, your life is literally hanging by a thread. Wouldn't it make sense to know the level of protection that your fall arrest system offers? Wouldn't you like to know its limitations? First, let's have a quick review of the parts your fall arrest system is made up of. The anchor. This is your secure point of attachment meant to support the intended load. Yep, that load would be you. Each structure has its own specific type of anchor. Be mindful of the one you choose. Body wear. Think harness. This is the support device that will help distribute force over multiple parts of the body, protecting users from orthostatic intolerance. Don't know what that is? You don't want to find out. But for education's sake, orthostatic intolerance happens after a fall when a person is suspended in the air. Too much pressure is placed on some pretty vital areas of the body, leading to serious injury. You'll want to choose fall protection that has leg straps so a worker can relieve vein pressure. Connectors. Connectors are lanyards or lifelines that connect the harness to the anchor. These will differ depending on the kind of structure, the height of the structure, and what the edge of the structure will be. Descent and rescue. These are devices that either raise or lower a fallen worker. Rescue devices are often overlooked. We don't want to have to think of the worst case scenario. But if you want to save a life, this better be on your radar. Now that we've had a recap of the components of fall arrest, there's just a few things to remember. Number 1, determine the hazards that exist. Number 2, develop a written fall protection plan. Number 3, use guardrails and safety nets as well as fall arrest systems. Number 4, have a plan in place for rescue situations. And number 5, regularly train workers. So you've planned for most risk factors on the site. When do you need self-retracting lifelines with leading edge? All leading edges are not the same, so let's explain a few terms. What is a leading edge? Well, a leading edge means the unprotected side and edge of a floor, roof, or formwork for a floor or other walking, working surface which changes as additional floors or formwork is constructed. The best way to explain why this is important when choosing a self-retracting lifeline is to imagine a construction worker installing steel on a new building. He steps away from the anchor point and has the potential to fall over the edge of the building. Because most of the time they're anchored at foot level, they have the chance of falling further than typical applications that are anchored at or above shoulder level. What's a smooth edge? Smooth edges are those edges that have a radius greater than 0.06 of an inch. These edges are smooth and not likely to cause damage to a lifeline. What's a sharp edge? Think steel bar. A sharp edge that's not rounded has the potential to cut most type of lifelines. ANSI has specific guidelines on what self-retracting devices for personal fall arrest can be used with sharp edges. Leading edge SRLs are required for those applications, and they must pass specific testing. The fall arrest device's lifeline will be tested over a piece of steel bar that has a radius of no more than 0.005 of an inch. If the lifeline is cut or otherwise damaged, it fails. These are some of the main risks of leading edge and sharp edges application. Increased fall distance. Users will need additional clearance because leading edge applications are usually anchored at foot level and will typically fall farther. Lockup speed. When self-retracting lifelines with leading edge are anchored at foot level and don't reach required acceleration speed until the D-ring passes over the leading edge, the self-retracting lifeline will not engage until the user has already fallen quite a distance, resulting in fall arrest forces that can be dangerous. Increased fall arrest forces. When a user falls further, they may experience more impact on their body when the device engages and arrests the fall. This is why many leading edge products must have additional energy absorbing devices. Swing hazards. It's dangerous enough when a worker falls, but if they fall over an edge, they have increased risks. Typically, when a worker falls over an edge and is off to one side, they may swing like a pendulum. Think of what happens to their lifeline as they swing back and forth. The best image I can conjure is like a saw. An important change that ANSI 359.14 brought about was the breakdown of types of self-retracting lifelines. Before, all lifelines were classified the same, which is dangerous at best. Now the standard breaks down SRLs into 3 classifications. SRL is considered to be the standard type of lifeline. SRL-R is rated for rescue situations and has certain capabilities, and SRL-LE is the rating for leading edge work. What does that really mean? Well, to break it down, in certain situations you need the right lifeline. When you're dealing with an unprotected edge, if there's any abrasion, impact, rubbing, or cutting of the lifeline itself, the line could break. If the line has a higher chance of breaking, your equipment doesn't really offer you any protection, does it? When you go to choose a fall arrest system, remember that all systems are not created equal. In 2012, ANSI released a new standard, ANSI Z359.14, to address leading edge or sharp edge applications. These are just a few pieces of the criteria that needs to be met. Self-retracting lanyard with leading edge, sharp edge testing. If a lifeline is not tested to be SRL LE, a cable can snap if placed over a sharp edge, leading to fatal results. Class A. The maximum arrest distance must not exceed 24 inches, and average arresting forces shouldn't exceed 1,350 pounds. Class B. The maximum arrest distance must not exceed 54 inches, and average arresting force shouldn't exceed 900 pounds. Certain criteria must be met for devices to be labeled for leading edge work and designated SRL LE. Specific information such as applications, care and inspection instructions, and other pertinent information must be on the label as well as the instruction manual provided by the manufacturer. Dynamic performance testing requires certain test criteria, including dropping a 282-pound weight over a sharp edge with the line of the SRL LE fully extended. Testing must be performed with a lifeline perpendicular to the edge, and testing must also be performed with the lifeline at an offset of 5 feet, and the visual indicator must activate during the fall. After meeting testing requirements, regular inspection is mandatory. Regular inspection should include an 8-point inspection that looks for damage or distortion of hooks and carabiners, cables, lanyards, anchor points, connectors, body wear. Pay close attention to labels and stitching, and always refer to the manufacturer's instructions. Read it, know it, and always remember that after a fall, the device must be removed from service for inspection and repair or replacement. Don't chance it. And last but certainly not least, training is essential to effective fall protection. Creating a safe work environment is priority number 1. When a workplace or job site has the potential for a fall-related accident, you must address these important questions. Is equipment regularly inspected for safety and quality? Are you in compliance with standards for leading edge work? What are the potential risks associated with the site? Has a rescue plan been developed and put in place? Does your company offer regular PPE training? I know there are thousands of moving pieces when it comes to the job and so much to contend with on a daily basis. Just make sure that you have the right equipment to protect your people. Spend time on the onset of a job and properly plan for the hazards, and it will save you time, money, and heartache later on. In fact, Safety and Health magazine reported an average return on investment of 2 to 1. If you need assistance choosing the right safety products for the job, don't hesitate in contacting a qualified representative to discuss your specific needs and help you come up with a game plan. Choosing the right PPE for the job may just save a person's life one day. Let's not leave it to chance.